He might be the Ballon d'Or now, but Ousmane Dembélé's future could have been very different. From a failed wonder kid at Barcelona to becoming the best in the world. From dealing with injuries to owning the spotlight. From being a winger who couldn't make it to become the best forward on the planet. Ousmane Dembélé didn't just get here by luck. His redemption arc is crazy. We're talking about a kid who has always been talented. As soon as he turned 6, Ousmane Dembélé's mum, Fatimata Dembélé, already knew the potential in her kid. Together with his uncle, they decided to send Dembélé to Évreux to develop, and it didn't take long for him to stand out. In the 2014-15 season, Dembélé was ready. He'd balled out for Rennes Youth Reserve side after leaving Évreux, 13 goals in 18 games in his first season as a winger. With that kind of form, Dembélé was promoted to the first team at the start of the 2015-16 season, and he just kicked on, this time in the big leagues. His breakthrough season wasn't normal. 26 games, 12 goals and 5 assists, 2 key passes per 90, 6 big chances created, even won a penalty that season. Dembélé was becoming a menace in France, but arguably his biggest strength, which the world was about to find out, was how much of a double trouble he was. In that infamous interview, Dembélé indirectly admitted he didn't even know his preferred foot, because he was just as good on either.
Vous êtes droitier ou gaucher?
Gaucher.
Sûr, parce que vous marquez aussi de droit.
Ouais, je suis plus gaucher.
Et les pénaltys, vous les tirez pas du droit?
Si.
Pourquoi?
Parce que je tire mieux du droit.
5 successful dribbles, a 71% dribble success rate. Add this to him finishing 5th in the race for the Golden Boy Award that year, and Dembélé had suddenly become one of the hottest young prospects in European football. Now, he had a choice. A lot of European teams came for Dembélé, from the then reigning Premier League champions Leicester City to the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United and Bayern Munich. But instead, Dembélé chose a project, and that decision turned out to be the best of his young career up to that point. Borussia Dortmund had just sold one of its stars, Henrik Mkhitaryan, to Manchester United. The Armenian bagged 90 goal contributions across 149 games for Dortmund. Those were some big boots to fill. The club wanted someone young, someone exciting, and in turn, Dembélé wanted a team where he would get guaranteed minutes to develop and improve as a player. It was the perfect match. 15 million euros, and it's safe to say, in the season that followed, Dembélé more than repaid the transfer fee. 6 goals and 12 assists in 32 games. Dembélé was involved in a goal every 113 minutes. He was on the pitch in the Bundesliga, particularly his connection with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Add Marco Reus to the picture, and Dortmund had one of the scariest attacking trios in Europe. Dembélé at Dortmund was sensational. He added end product to his already impressive dribbling. He bagged 10 goals in all competitions that season for Dortmund, hitting double digits in goals for the second season in his career. He even scored in the DFB Pokal final against Eintracht Frankfurt. And with the type of season he had, including making his debut for France, after just 12 months, Barcelona had seen enough. They wanted Dembélé and were prepared to pay whatever it would cost just to get him. Now, I say that because Dembélé cost Barca a lot. His transfer followed a chain reaction too. Barca had just sold Neymar that summer to PSG for a world record 222 million euros, and the club needed a replacement. Not necessarily in the position, but a kid who had the potential Neymar had when he joined the club. Dembélé looked like the answer at the time. 105 million euros up front and 40 million euros in add-ons. That's how much it cost Barca to get Dembélé from Dortmund, immediately making him the then 3rd most expensive transfer in world football. Again, to Barca, the kid was going to be worth it. In fact, they were so confident that the then Barca president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, claimed Dembélé was even better than the man he was coming to replace, Neymar. But with all the hype surrounding his transfer in Dembélé's redemption story, this is the chapter where things started to take a bad turn. In the game against Getafe, Dembélé experienced the first of what would almost define his early years at Barca, a hamstring injury. It ruled him out for 4 months that season. He came back, got injured, and missed another month. And in his first season at the club, he managed just 24 games that campaign, 12 goal contributions too. The stats would have read a goal contribution a game, which on the surface would have looked like a good thing, but Dembélé knew he had to perform better. The only problem, though, was that he just wasn't ready to. If there's one image that sums up Dembélé's career in the next couple of years at Barca after that first season, it's this. He fluffed his lines against Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final first leg. If he'd scored, Barca hit 4 against Liverpool. Liverpool don't come back in that second leg. Instead, Dembélé was more than underperforming at the club. He was wasting every chance he got. The injuries were one thing, but Dembélé was getting called out for even more stuff. His diet was reportedly so bad that it was a big problem at the club. Dembélé chose to eat fast food over healthy stuff. There were even reports of him staying up late to play video games and coming late to training sessions. Combine all of this with his injuries that continued happening, and by January 2022, Dembélé had missed a total of 102 games out for Barca due to injury. The Dembélé problem at Barcelona was dividing the board and coaching staff. On one hand, some guys believed Dembélé was still very talented and believed that if they could treat him right, he'd come good. Guys like Joan Laporta even claimed Dembélé was better than Mbappé at the time. It made sense too. He was a World Cup winner with France. He was capable of producing moments of magic. But on the other hand, Dembélé's unprofessionalism was costing the team. It was hard to plan a season with him in the team because he just couldn't stay fit. He didn't care to stay fit. Before we continue on Dembélé, now is a good time for you to hit that like and subscribe button to the channel for more content like this. But when Xavi arrived, Dembélé's career at Barca looked like it was taking a new direction. Now, you'd probably be wondering how, considering that he played fewer games with 32 appearances than he did for Barca in the previous season with 44. But under Xavi, Dembélé had a manager who both believed in him and at the same time had an actual plan to make him perform. By the 2022/23 season, that plan looked like it was paying off. Dembélé hit 17 goal contributions in all competitions for a Barcelona team that won the league. There was even talk about Dembélé signing a new contract at the club, because for the first time since he arrived, he looked like an important player they could plan a season around until Dembélé dropped a bombshell on the club. At first, they were rumours until it got confirmed. Dembélé rejected Barca's new contract extension and chose to join PSG for €50 million instead. The hate he received from the Barca fans was real. They went from burning his jerseys to calling him out on social media. He got labelled as a snake, a traitor, a thief. Again, you could understand why. They'd stuck out for him so many times after so many injuries, and in the end, he chose to leave the club when it finally looked like he could stay fit. Add this to Lamine Yamal emerging as a new wonder kid at the club, and as pained as the Barca fans were, they soon believed it was better for Dembélé to leave. Joining PSG looked like the beginning of the end for Dembélé. Many thought he'd just go to France, win a couple of League One titles, and probably call it quits in 5 to 6 years. But if the previous chapter in Dembélé's redemption was the one where things took a bad turn in this one, Dembélé became a beast. He was changing. After secretly marrying his wife, Rima Edbouche, in 2021, Dembélé immediately got that spark. The one who told him he needed to take his career seriously. He was ready for a new start now, and that's why he chose France. Home. He wanted to build a family and start from a place where he could feel like that young version of himself all those years back at Rennes. But it wasn't going to be easy. Coming to France, Dembélé was a part of the PSG team. A part because the main star was his close friend Kylian Mbappé. In his first season back in France, Dembélé bagged 20 goal contributions in all competitions for PSG, including coming back to Spain to haunt Barca. But the truth was that at PSG, Mbappé was still the star until he wasn't. With Kylian Mbappé gone, PSG's head coach Luis Enrique had a plan. He wanted to build a team. For the first time in PSG's history since the takeover, they would be a team without any headline stars. To play as a collective, but that was one part of the plan. The second part directly involved Dembélé, and it was tough love. After leaving him out in the Champions League group stage game against Arsenal, Luis Enrique said it was because Dembélé needed to respect his teammates. He was openly challenging Dembélé, something the Frenchman had never experienced before. When he did come back to the team, Luis Enrique had another plan. He wanted to make his PSG team unrecognisable, particularly in attack. So instead of playing Dembélé as a winger, he shifted him centrally. The results were staggering. Between December and March, Dembélé bagged 16 of his 21 league goals in the 2024/25 campaign. If we further break this tally down, it includes scoring a brace in 5 matches in that period and a hat-trick against Stade Brestois. These goals weren't just numbers in League One. They came at a crucial time too. They helped PSG pull clear off Marseille, the only real contenders they had for the league title, and that allowed the team to have full focus on the competition they'd been chasing for 54 years. Dembélé in the Champions League, particularly the knockouts. He was unplayable, no matter the angle you chose to look at. The only match he didn't score or assist in was the round of 16 first-leg defeat to Liverpool. 7 goal contributions from the round of 16 to the final. 8 goals and 6 assists in 15 Champions League games last season. They came at big moments too. The winner in the semi-final first leg at the Emirates against Arsenal. In the final, he bagged 2 assists to go with an insane compliment from his manager. That was the other angle with Dembélé now. It almost became a meme watching him press like that. He was a pressing monster for a PSG team that finally won the Champions League. He won the quadruple. Finished with 35 goals and 16 assists in 53 games that season, and then the moment that changed his life. Before 2025, Dembélé had never been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. 2025. He wasn't just getting a first nomination, he was the leading candidate. It looked for a while like his former teammates from Barca would upstage him for the award, but on the 22nd of September 2025, Dembélé's redemption story was complete. It was emotional too. The tears weren't just for him, they were for the people who'd stood by him, even when the entire world criticised him. His mum, Fatimata, his best friend Mustafa Diatta, and Dembélé showed the world that he just needed that one season to finally realise his potential. He'd done it, but on a bigger scale, does Dembélé winning the award this year change the fact that it might just be irrelevant now? Click the next video to find out if it's true, how the Ballon d'Or became irrelevant.